welcome back to Cat in Contact. My next guest is here to tell us about several fundraising events that are being held this summer to benefit the Wounded Warriors Project. Here with all the details is event organizer and owner of Oh Glory Flags and Flagpoles of Canton, Rich Keenan. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Peg. Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. I understand that you have some special fundraising events in the works. What can we look forward to?
We do. Similar to last year, we're going to have our golf event this year, which is going to be on July 21st over at Washtenaw. Unfortunately, all the foursomes are already sold out, either fortunately or unfortunately, but if you wanted to get in, it's a little late for the golf. But we do have availability for dinner still. If folks are interested in attending the dinner, it's $75. Any proceeds from that after the dinner and drinks are paid for ahead of time will go to Wounded Warrior Project, but you'll have the full breadth of services of steak dinner, open bar, and getting a chance to listen to Dan Nevins again, tell us his great story. And it's always a very inspirational talk that the servicemen bring when they come and see us, and it always seems to be a hit. So if anyone's interested in dinner, we will still obviously, we have some availability for that. And there's an auction as well, so there'll be plenty of prizes and vacation homes and other type trips and things of that nature that people can bid on should they want to.
Excellent.
Okay.
And I understand that you have a unique prize that's available, a shopping spree?
We do. I'm glad you mentioned that. This year we're doing something a little bit different. In the past, some people may remember that we actually sent 4 people down to the Masters the first 3 years. For 2018 or the end of this year, 2017, actually in this case, we ran into some issues with the Masters with the hospitality suite, so we were unable to do it for 2018's outing. What we're doing instead is we're actually going to have a shopping spree in Chicago down the Miracle Mile. We've got 3 nights reserved for either 2 couples or 4 people with 2 king suites at the Langham Hotel, which was rated one of the best hotels in the country last year, right on the Miracle Mile. It's $500 dinner certificate to Gibson's Steakhouse, $500 dinner certificate for Joe's Seafood, and there's $3,000 in spending cash. So we're only selling 150 tickets at $100 a piece. We have about 40 some left, and if anyone's interested, they can call Old Glory at 800-454-3773, and we can get you set up.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned Dan Nevins, who is a wonderful speaker and a very inspirational person. He's going to be at your golf event, but he's also participating in Yoga in the Park. Can you tell us about that event?
Absolutely. Just like last year, Dan is going to come out again, and he's going to play golf with us. And like I said, he was a big hit, and he's going to hold a yoga event on July 22nd, which is Saturday morning, at Heritage Park from 9:30 to 11:30, where Dan, who now specializes in yoga as his profession, is going to come out and hold a session, and anyone's welcome. The tickets are $35 if you purchase them ahead of time, and $45 at the door should you show up. You can either get tickets by calling Old Glory at that 800 number, which I mentioned, which is the 800-454-3773, or you can call the Summit Front Desk at 734-394-5460, I believe is what that is.
Correct.
And finally, if you hit the Canton website for cantonfund.org, you can get some more information as well. You know, Dan he's just a incredibly inspiring person. I had the pleasure 3 years ago, I was down in Jacksonville and with some other people that were involved in some fundraisers for the Wounded Warrior Project, and Dan walked into the room and started talking to a bunch of us, and I was sitting there very honestly to myself, and I couldn't figure out, you know, what had happened or what had transpired, because Dan looks so normal. He's up talking, he's got a great self-presence, etc. And he was probably about 20 minutes into his conversation when he talked about he had lost both his legs in Iraq, and no one was aware of it. He had doctors on, etc. But the way he moved around, it was just incredible. I mean, he's got an incredible story and an incredible person. And anyone that, you know, is looking for any sort of inspiration in life, whether it's through yoga or something else, Dan's the guy you want to talk to or listen to, because he's got such a great story.
Absolutely. And he turned to yoga to help himself, and now he is helping others with it as well.
Exactly. I think that he struggled a little bit after he got back, and he had lost both his legs, and I think personally he struggled with that and a little bit of PTSD and things of that nature, and wasn't really sure where his life was going, and a friend of his recommended that he take up yoga. And I know he was resistant at first. He didn't really think he was going to be interested, but when he was actually talked into it, he showed up for this first event, and he was floored. He said to me last year, he said that instantaneously he felt this relief, and it felt like the weight of the world's shoulders had come off him. And it changed his whole outlook on life. And he decided after the very first time doing it, not only was he going to take up yoga, but he was going to become a yoga instructor. And that's what he did. He went to school, became an instructor, and he's known nationwide now, in fact, worldwide. He travels all over the place. And I know his key goal in life now is he really wants to teach yoga to veterans, because he's so convinced, he knows how much it helped him, that he wants to help other guys and women that come back with the same sort of issues after returning from combat.
Oh, what an amazing story.
Great.
Now, why do you hold these fundraisers every year?
You know, I own Old Glory flags, so it's a good fit. It's a good tie. But I don't know. I mean, I am very, very blessed. I'm not a veteran. I never served. I probably could have served in the original Iraq War in '91, but I was already established in business and things of that nature, and didn't, very honestly. And you know, since then, especially after 9/11, I think I got more focus. I've got this sense of indebtedness to all our veterans and what they've done for us. You know, I say to my wife all the time, I said, the greatest thing that can ever happen to you in life is to be born in America. And that's the truth. We've got our issues, we've got our problems, and politically the world is so divided today. But at the end of the day, the greatest thing that can happen to you is to be born in this country.
How nicely said.
And have the freedoms available to you, and the benefits that are available to all of us, and it's because of our veterans.
Absolutely.
And,
we're almost out of time, but if you wouldn't
okay.
mind just recapping the event and tell folks where they can go for more information.
For more information on either the auction and dinner, either call 800-454-3773 at Old Glory, or the Summit Front Desk, which is 734-394-5460, or you can go to www.cantonfund.org.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Rich, for stopping by and telling us about this unique opportunity.
Thank you, Peg. Appreciate you having me.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time on Canton Contact.